Hi, today we're going to talk about literary analysis writing versus argument writing. We've already been talking in class about argument writing, and we've determined that there are three parts to any argument essay. The first part is your introduction. In your introduction, you typically have a hook, you have background information, and most importantly, you have a claim. You're telling your reader what you believe and maybe a little bit of why you believe it. Then you move into the body. The body could be a single paragraph if you're writing a 3-paragraph essay. It could be 2 paragraphs, it could be 3 paragraphs, it could be 4 paragraphs. Or if you're writing an entire 10-page argument essay, it could be many paragraphs, more than we could actually really count in an easy time. However, every body paragraph has some commonalities. First off, it starts out with a main idea. The reason it says main ideas on the screen is because each body paragraph would have a separate main idea. So if you have 3 body paragraphs, you would have 3 main ideas. Every body paragraph is going to have some evidence. In English, your evidence is probably text evidence, coming from an IT essay that you read or maybe coming from a story. But in science, if you were writing an argument essay, it might come from an experiment that you did and the results of that experiment. Or in math, it might come from the results of a few different problems that you've done if you're arguing the best way to solve an equation. But your evidence, you are going to have evidence. You're also going to have an analysis. This is where you're explaining how your evidence supports your claim. And finally, you have to have a counterclaim and a refute. That's what makes argument writing. You acknowledge and say what the other side would say, and then you explain and analyze why what they're saying either is wrong or does not matter. You end your argument writing with a conclusion. In your conclusion, you're going to have a summary and a restatement of your claim. Argument writing is very structured, and it's a very fun type of writing. And it leads into another type of writing, which is called literary analysis writing. Now, literary analysis writing has some commonalities with argument writing, but there's some major differences that you need to be aware of as well. The first difference happens in the introduction. Instead of starting with a hook and background information, you're going to start with an about 3-sentence summary. You might start with a name it, verb it, blurb it, and then give a few more details about the story that you're reading, because a literary analysis is all about a story, all about a piece of literature. So you want your reader to know at least a little bit about what this story is about in case they're unfamiliar with it. Like argument writing, your introduction is also going to have a claim. And the claim is going to be stating your opinion based on the prompt. So if the prompt tells you to analyze the theme of the story, your claim is going to state what you think the theme is. However, you still should not be using first or second person. You're just going to make a theme statement. If the prompt asked you about a character trait, your claim would be that a character has a certain trait. Again, it would be a third-person statement. It would not be in first or second person. No, I believe or I think or you can see. Those should be avoided just like they are in argument writing, because then you lose your formal style. For example, if I was talking about Harry Potter, I could have a claim that Harry Potter is very brave. Then I would have to spend my entire essay showing and proving that Harry Potter is brave. If I was talking about the Harry Potter book, I might say that my theme is that good is going to triumph over evil. That's a little bit of a cliche, so I really kind of want to avoid those. But I could talk about that as my claim, in which case I'm going to spend my paper giving text evidence showing that good overcomes evil. All right, like argument writing, your next section is going to be a body paragraph. And your body paragraph is going to have the same types of things as the body paragraph in argument writing. If you have a single body paragraph, you'll have one main idea. If you have multiple body paragraphs, each paragraph will have a main idea in it. You are going to have text evidence, and in this case, you are going to be using text evidence. You're not going to be using any evidence from an experiment or anything else. You're going to have text evidence. And it's also going to contain an analysis. How does your text evidence show your theme? How does your text evidence show your character trait? So you are going to have an analysis. What you've probably noticed is missing is a counterclaim and refute. At this level, you will not have a counterclaim or refute. Later on in your academic career, you probably will, but in 7th grade, we are going to avoid that. And finally, you're going to have a conclusion. Your conclusion is a summing up of what you've already said. A strong punch statement does a really good job of that, so that's a good technique to use, although it is not the only technique that you can use. All right, well, that's it in a nutshell. Argument writing versus literary analysis. Good luck writing your literary analysis on the theme of Thank You, Ma'am.